So what are you doing now then? Are you just coaching people? Are you, what are you actually doing? Like, how's your process work? Do major companies hire you? What's the process?
All the above.
You got the
All the
kids.
above. There's three main things that I do. Number one is I'm a professional speaker. So I speak at national conferences, global conferences, regional sales meetings. I mean, and I teach sales teams, maybe 50, 100, 500, how to charge higher prices and get your customers to thank you for it.
So what
I specifically?
So what are some things you do?
Like,
I mean, like in those seminars, what are some of the key points or things how did that,
right.
you know what I mean?
Let me come back to that in just a second.
So
So number one is the speaking, and sometimes I get to speak for entrepreneurial audiences too. I mean, you mentioned Bob Donnell, one of wonderful friend. Bob, shout out, you are so awesome. And Bob comes in and speaks to my class.
That's awesome.
And I have him come at the beginning of the semester, just give my students a charge. And just unbelievable.
That's awesome.
But I'll speak on platforms around the country. Eric Swanson, you know Eric?
I know Eric. Yeah, he's great.
Eric,
big shout out to Eric Swanson. We love you. It's awesome what you're doing. Habitude Warriors.
Absolutely. Yes. Habitude Warrior Conference coming up in April 2019. Make sure you guys are there. San Diego.
Eric gets amazing. Eric gets amazing speakers. If you get a chance to check out a Habitude Warrior Conference, amazing speakers from literally all over the country doing amazing things.
Have you been on his platform?
No, but he's dynamic. A lot of my friends are like, I'm not a really professional speaker. I just do it because I love it, but it's not like I'm a professional speaker. Like, he gets these amazing people on there, and it's like, it's all over the place.
Sure, I mean,
you're on there. It's
truly amazing.
It's really amazing. Yeah, this is awesome. Like, it's crazy.
So once in a while I get to speak to entrepreneurial audiences, mostly for corporate. The second thing that I do is consulting.
Yeah.
And on the speaking side, I'll sometimes do ongoing training series for a company. They'll see me speak once, and I'll come in and I'll speak for 6 months or a year, and I'll work more intimately with their sales teams. But then I also do consulting with small to mid-sized organizations where I'll come in and pour into them and change their whole, not just their sales culture, but I've got an MBA too, so I help them with a lot of different aspects. And some of those companies can afford me.
Yeah.
Some can't, and that's where some of my partnerships come in too. I mean, there are some small, mid-sized companies that I'm actually a partner in, and I pour into those companies, and then I reap a reward on the back end as well, which is pretty cool.
Oh, that's pretty rad.
And then the third thing I do is the university teaching at Cal State Fullerton. I did 3 years as an adjunct professor in the MBA program at Concordia University.
Oh, that's awesome.
In Irvine.
Concordia is great.
Which is great private school. And then Cal State Fullerton recruited me, and this is my 4th year there, and I teach marketing for entrepreneurs.
That's awesome. So you're doing these partnerships with some of these companies. It's amazing. How did that all come about? How did that, you were just trying to get creative and they needed your help?
How'd that all come about? By getting tired of, you gave it away for free again because somebody couldn't afford it.
Yeah.
And I realized, you know what? They probably would have been happy to say, you know what? Hey, if this works, we'll give you something on the back end. But I never asked.
Yeah.
And they never thought they think, oh, Scott's successful. He doesn't need the money. He's just helping me. Going, okay, but I like being rewarded for the work that I do.
Well, it's great.
And so, so I started saying, hey, well, why don't we work something out? And they go, let's do this. And then I can pour myself in, for a few hours a month to a company. And then
have impact.
Suddenly, oh man, I can move the needle big time on a small to mid-size.
So
if I'm speaking to Cisco systems, even if I made them another $500 million, it's gonna move.
It'll
barely
crazy.
quiver the needle.
Yeah, it's very true.
Yeah.